Good afternoon, everybody. It's Greg McClure here with this week's episode of Ask Greg. So oftentimes in a contract, especially with a buyer, I get the same question, so I thought I would try to address it today. And that is, what is a contingency? Well, the best way to describe it is a contingency is a way for a buyer to get out of the contract. There's three typical basic contingencies that are built into the contract. I'll go over each one just kind of briefly. First one is the appraisal contingency. What the appraisal contingency says is that the property has to appraise for what the purchase price of the property is. If it doesn't appraise for that, the buyer has the opportunity to get out of the contract, or it can be renegotiated between the buyer and the seller. The second contingency is the inspection contingency, and this is an important one. The seller of a house has a responsibility to disclose anything that's wrong with the house, but the buyer also has the responsibility of due diligence. In other words, they have to do inspections as well. And the inspection contingency allows the buyer to get out of the contract if they find something in the inspection that they don't like. They can also negotiate for repairs or anything like that, but it gives them a way to get out of the contract. The third and final built-in contingency in California contracts is the financing contingency. This, again, allows the buyer to get out of the contract if for some reason they are unable to obtain financing. Now, all three of these contingencies typically have a 17-day deadline. After that 17-day period, if all those contingencies are removed by the buyer could be at risk of losing their deposit if they back out of the contract. Now, every contract's different, every situation's a little different, but that's basically what a contingency is in a contract when you buy a house. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, and if you have any questions, you can send it to us at info@smartclickrealty.com. Thanks!